this morning, we'll be taking a look at the Vanguard newspaper. We'll also have the Nation newspaper, Guardian, and Punch, not forgetting the Explainer. From the Vanguard newspaper, NECA man Nasima rejects Senate's NSITF takeover. The Organized Private Sector of Nigeria, OPSN, has rejected the proposed amendment to the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund NSITF Act, describing the move by the Senate as a dangerous attempt to hijack and politicize the management of workers' social protection funds. It warned that the amendment threatened transparency, accountability, and the very foundation of the fund's governance structure. High cost of cooking gas, sawdust, now the alternative. Many Nigerian families are gradually returning to alternative cooking solutions such as charcoal and sawdust. This is no thanks to the current cost of cooking gas, which is not only prohibitive, but also scaring the daylight out of the eyes of the average Nigerian family. We move on to the Nation newspaper. I have presidential mandate to raise indigenous contractors. Umahi. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the Ministry of Works to ensure the empowerment, engagement, and support for indigenous contractors. Minister of Works David Umahi confirmed receiving the presidential mandate during an inspection of the Oyo-Ogbomosho dual carriageway project handled by a local construction firm, JRB Construction Company Limited. National Assembly Committee approves 6 new states. The Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on Constitution Review has approved the creation of 6 additional states. This was one of the key resolutions reached at the end of the 2-day retreat, co-chaired by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Barau Jibrin, and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu in Lagos. The Joint Committee considered a total of 69 bills, 55 state creation requests, 2 boundary adjustments, and 278 local government creation requests during the retreat. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper, 767 local government areas without active websites amid autonomy, 3 trillion naira yearly windfall. A stark contradiction has emerged between Nigeria's soaring local government revenues and their digital invisibility, with only 7 or fewer than a small percentage of the grassroots government having their presence in the digital space. Despite collectively receiving an estimated 8.93 trillion naira in federal allocations from 2023 to 2025, putting the yearly windfalls at about 3 trillion naira, less than 1 out of every 100 local governments operate a functional website. Resident doctors to begin strike Friday over unmet demands. Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has announced a total and indefinite nationwide strike beginning on Friday at 11:59 p.m. This decision means that public hospitals nationwide may experience major service disruptions in the coming days. The strike decision was reached after a 5-hour emergency National Executive Council meeting on Saturday. Warri Itape train service resumes October 29, says NRC. Several months after the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, suspended commercial services on the Warri Itape train route, the corporation at the weekend announced it would resume operations again on October 29. In April, the NRC announced the suspension of the service after the train developed a major fault and abandoned hundreds of commuters in the middle of nowhere. They were later evacuated after a long wait. NCS uncovers 5.3 billion naira illicit drugs smuggled from Canada at Tinkan Port. The Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) has disclosed the interception of 2 containers loaded with 8 vehicles used to conceal illicit drugs worth 5.3 billion naira imported from Canada through the Tinkan Island Port, Lagos. Addressing journalists during the weekend, the Customs Area Controller, Tinkan Island Port, Frank Onyeka, highlighted the seizures as a testament to the command's resolve to safeguard Nigeria's borders and ensuring compliance with international trade regulations. UNICEF decries sexual abuse of IDPs in camps. United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) Child Protection Specialist Victor Atuchukwu has raised concerns that some internally displaced persons IDP camp officials were using their positions to take advantage of vulnerable girls and women dislocated by conflicts. He disclosed this during a meeting convened by the JASPI Health and Gender Development Initiative in collaboration with UNICEF to map out modalities for the prevention of sexual and gender-based violence (SGBV), as well as sexual exploitation and abuse in Makurdi over the weekend. Moving on to the Punch newspaper. Under Buhari, Tinubu, 500 generals forced out despite rising insurgency. Despite escalating insurgency across the country, no fewer than 500 senior military officers, including major generals, brigadier generals, rear admirals, and air vice marshals, have been forced into early retirement following the changes of service chiefs under the Muhammadu Buhari and Bola Tinubu administration. The mass retirement spanning the Army, Navy, and Air Force between 2015 and 2023 stemmed from the long-standing military tradition of disengaging senior officers who are either senior to or of the same course as newly appointed service chiefs. CBN pumps $1.25 billion into fuel imports. Others. The Central Bank of Nigeria has released a total sum of $1.259 billion to oil sector players for the importation of petroleum products and other related items into the country. The amount released between the first 3 months of 2025 is against the backdrop of the insistence of marketers to continue fuel imports despite the availability of petrol from Dangote Refinery. And lastly, from the Explainer, NOA unveils 22.5 million naira animation award, task animators to showcase Nigerian values. The National Orientation Agency NOA recently in Lagos unveiled 2026 NOA Animation Award, a 22.5 million naira initiative instituted to encourage Nigerian animators to showcase the nation's identity, values, and culture through animated storytelling. Director General NOA Malam Lare Issa Onilu, while unveiling the award with the theme, "Who is a Real Nigerian?" said the competition will be open exclusively to Nigerian animators, individuals, and studios. That's it. You can pick up a copy of any of the dailies. Go online to read more. Also, interact with us via our social media platforms and X, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, and Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Traffic Radio 961, and follow me across social media at Dele Agadumo.